Hi, Jen.
Hi, how are you?
Great, thank you. Thank you for taking time to talk to me.
Excellent.
Can you please introduce yourself?
Sure. My name's Jen Looper. I work for Progress Software, which acquired the company I was originally hired at, which is Telerik, and you may have heard of Telerik. It's actually a Bulgarian-based company, so it was kind of a really cool company to just jump into, and I got to go to Sofia, and that was really great. And we were acquired by Progress Software, which is a company with a heavy footprint in databases, and they acquired Telerik for the front end and for the mobile story. And I was hired into the company as like mobile girl, so I'm passionate about mobile apps, and this is something that we've been working on heavily in the company. So it's been a great opportunity for me to sort of move a little bit out of a developer role and into a developer advocate role. So I can kind of commiserate with developers and help them with the tooling and try to help them figure out the solutions that'll work for them. So I'm a developer advocate at Progress Software. That's the short answer.
Okay, sounds good. So you're going to be giving a talk on, a workshop on building native apps with NativeScript and Angular too?
Mm-hmm, yes, we actually did that on Tuesday. Okay. So yeah, it was 6 hours, 100% NativeScript and Angular.
Wow.
It was really fun. We had great courseware, and by the end of the workshop, people could walk out with some working apps that they could deploy onto their device. And it's not just a great fun way to teach mobile development, but also to learn Angular, I find. You can really kind of develop as you would a normal Angular application, and then, wow, it's for mobile, and it's a native mobile app, so it's really fun.
That sounds very enabling.
Yes, it is. It's kind of empowering, for sure.
And what brought you to NativeScript?
So I originally was working on Telerik Platform, which was spun up to help people deploy hybrid mobile apps. So if you want to use Kendo UI Mobile, which was another one of our products, build a Cordova-based app, then you can deploy it on platform, and we had all this great tooling around that mobile story. And we started realizing that there are some issues with performance with Cordova apps. So we spun up this totally greenfielded project called NativeScript internally. And it's been about 4 years that we've been working on it, and it's awesome to see the engineering in Bulgaria just going to town with NativeScript.
And what is your role on the NativeScript project?
Right, I'm a developer advocate for NativeScript, so I do a lot of conferences, go and give talks, do workshops, do meetups, hackathons, do a lot of writing. So writing, speaking, coding, helping.
And what kind of companies do you generally see using NativeScript?
Right. Well, I think the Angular story is particularly strong in the enterprise. So we tend to see people coming to us from the enterprise and looking to use NativeScript either for their internal mobile apps or for maybe outward-facing mobile apps as well. I've seen some large banking operations come to us. There's a group in Canada, and they're working on power grids, and that's kind of interesting. They need a mobile app so that their technicians can go into the field and figure out if there are issues. It's a solar testing, I think it's kind of interesting. But then there's also small companies, small businesses, people who just want a clear mobile story, and then they can just spin up a nice mobile app because NativeScript's free and open source, so it works really beautifully for the small shops as well as the big enterprises.
That's great.
Yeah.
What kind of challenges are you seeing people encounter with NativeScript?
I think it's kind of a new technology, so I think it's a little hard to understand what exactly is going on. So there's a certain confusion, I need a mobile app. Why can't I just use Cordova with this thing? What's the deal? Right. And it's a different kind of technology. It's a runtime. It's building a native app. There's no webview. There's no DOM to manipulate. So getting past that barrier, once they understand that you're really building a native app, then they sort of get it. And then the other question people ask is, why do I need this weird cross-platform story? Why can't I just build native? That's a little easier to answer from me because you have these two code bases that you're going to need. You're going to need Swift or Objective-C, and then you've got to rewrite the whole thing again in Java. So that's easier to answer, I think. So that's kind of the two groups of questions we get.
Okay. And what kind of skills would you say would be helpful when learning NativeScript?
Right. So there's two ways of building a NativeScript app. You can use what we call vanilla NativeScript, and that's just plain JavaScript or TypeScript, and you're just leveraging our APIs to build your mobile app. Or you can go full-on Angular. So we support Angular 4, and we're really keeping up with the trends and the teamwork on Angular. But it kind of depends. Do you need Angular? Maybe you don't need all of that ecosystem with with you. Maybe you just need a basic vanilla NativeScript app, and that's totally a legitimate way to jump into it.
And what would you say is the best way for people to level up their NativeScript skills?
Right. So again, with the same story, you can be building a vanilla app and you can go through our vanilla tutorials, or you can go onto the Angular bandwagon, and we have Angular tutorials. So we have getting started guides for both of those stories. Those are a great way to level up. Just get through those tutorials and you'll be building the famous groceries app. So once you're kind of past that, you might want to hop on our NativeScript Slack channel. We have about 3,000, it just keeps growing, 3,000 people on the community channel. I moderate that, and we also have new forums. I prefer that people hop off of Slack and hop onto the forums so that if you have a technical question, everybody can look at it, and then you have the threaded responses, and then you can close the issue.
And you can Google it and find
yes,
the
it's much more
answer as
searchable.
well.
Yeah. So forums are a great solution if you just get stuck. But you can also hop onto Stack Overflow. Lots of options for helping. And I actually run the Developer Experts program. So there are 42 people all over the world, and they're experts in all of Progress's products, but we have a very strong NativeScript team because we have some really awesome people working on the project. So it's nice to kind of refer tricky questions that I have trouble answering, talk to our developer experts, because they're in the trenches and they know, this very specific stuff.
Yeah, how many questions do you answer in a day?
I tend to be on Slack. I start in the morning and I go till midnight sometimes, so it's a question of needing to dial back a little bit right now. We get hit on Twitter as well. I'm concentrating on the forums to try to build up the forums as a good ecosystem. So I would say I answer maybe 10 questions a day, try to just keep it at a reasonable level. And if I don't know, which I usually probably will not know, I'll send them to an expert. For me, it's a certain amount of triage.
Yeah. Makes sense. And where do you see NativeScript evolving in the future?
We'll definitely always be connected to our vanilla story and our Angular story. It'll be very interesting to see if we decide to support another framework. I think there's a lot of internal interest in things like Vue. It's all a question of resources, internal resources. But I think the biggest question we need to solve concretely for the community is the code sharing story between web and native. So we're working on getting a really nice seed project or some kind of integration with the CLI so that people can spin up their website for the web, for desktop, and then a nice mobile app and be able to share about 75% of the code. So that's kind of the evolution I'd like to see, and I really want a solid story around that.
And where is that conversation happening? Is there something? Is there a public project around that, or is it still internal for now?
So there's a terrific advanced seed. So one of our developer experts, Nathan Walker, he spun up what he calls the Angular Advanced Seed, which is based on Minko's advanced. I think it's called the Angular seed. Okay. So we have the advanced Angular seed, which includes desktop, NativeScript, and web. So you're using Electron as well. That's the advanced seed. It's a pretty intense and complicated project. So what we did in an internal hackathon is we stripped it down. So I have the basic seed, and that's on my GitHub repo. But it relies on a system of symlinking and naming conventions, and it gets real hairy really quickly. So we are working internally in DevRel for, it's actually my colleague Sebastian's initiative to get a really great solution built and deployed so that the community can use it right now.
So I'll be interviewing him later.
Yeah,
so I'll
talk
ask
to him about
it.
code sharing for sure. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And so if someone wanted to reach out to you on the internet, what's the best way to do that?
Forums. But you're certainly welcome to hop onto NativeScript Slack, and we'll try to find you there. Start with nativescript.org, and there's a list of resources, so you can hop onto Slack, hop onto the forums, or just tweet me personally at Jen Looper. So I'm always on Twitter as well.
Okay.
So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
talking to me about this.
Appreciate.
Hey there. Are you into reactive programming using JavaScript? Do you have to deal with asynchrony in your web app? Then join this instructor Ben Lesh to learn all of the ins and outs of RxJS in his hands-on workshop. Available online and in person, go to rxworkshop.com for more details and to book your spot today. Hey there. Do you use Angular? Do you like fun in the sun? And how do you feel about boats? If you're nodding yes, then come join us on ng-cruise to learn more about Angular while on a fabulous Caribbean cruise. Check out ng-cruise.com for speaker lineup, workshop details, and to book your spot today.